Hi everyone, I'm Jane Bomkamp, and I'm doing the screencast to tell you about my e-portfolio that I'm creating. Just a general intro for my e-portfolio. I'm creating this for my teaching classes, and this website includes an About Me page just to tell you guys who I am and why I want to teach, along with a way to contact me if you have any questions. I also have my teaching blog hyperlinked into my website, along with a portfolio that shows assignments that I've already created. It kind of includes ways to use technology in education. And then lastly, I have my curriculum vitae, which is a resume of what I've done so far with teaching. So ideas on how I designed this. What I did first was I Googled ideas and examples of other people's e-portfolios that they've already created, and I kind of took the ideas that I liked from them, along with wanting to make my e-portfolio very easy to navigate and clean. I don't want it to overstimulate brains and hurt eyes or anything like that. I just want it to be easy and clear. So that's kind of how I designed it. So now I'm going to show you how I coded it and what codes I used to make my e-portfolio what it looks like now. So looking over here on the right side of the screen, this is the coding that is shown for my e-portfolio. So if we scroll down, you'll see that I have a style section, which we can come back to later once we get to those sections. So we'll keep scrolling. So here we have a body section, and this is where all the writing is pretty much. So we go down and we see that I have a header. So right here, this whole section right here, it says home, so it's pointing at this section. And what it's saying is the code is saying this A href equals. This is how I put my link of another web page I've created onto it. So using Dreamweaver, I created a template and page for my home page, and I called it index.html. So this coding right here is how I applied it and put it into my website. And I did this because home is an easy way and a very good indicator on how you go back to a home page. So scrolling down, you see that I have this navigation bar that includes blog, portfolio, and curriculum vitae. So how I did this was I typed each of the three, so blog, portfolio, and curriculum vitae. And then once again, I created a whole Dreamweaver template and page, which I made a whole new web page for. And blog, I linked my blog, my teaching blog, off of EDU blogs onto this. So the way I did that was I went here and did A equals href equals double, and then the actual link to my EDU blog. And this code right here is telling it that whenever people click on blog, this is where I want it to take you. And then this coding target equals underscore blank is telling the website that whenever you click on blog, I want it to open up a whole new page. And I did this because I want people to see my ideas on teaching, and I have done a lot of that on the blog. I did this target blank because I want people to be able to go back and forth between my webpage and my blog. Next, I did my portfolio, and I created another page. And so I did A space href equals the double portfolio.html, which is the name of the file that I created on my computer. So this is telling it, the code is telling the website that whenever someone presses on portfolio, that I want them to take them to this whole nother file and page. The same was done for curriculum vitae. I did the A space href equals and then the double, and then this file was called cv.html, which was a whole thing I created on Dreamweaver, and it's telling it that I want it to go to this page whenever that's clicked. So just to show you the blog, I clicked it and it takes me to a whole nother page, and it takes me to my actual blog. And then I'll just show you portfolio, and you see that it takes me to my portfolio. So I go back and I press home. Oh, that's not it. Oh. There we go. Alright, so moving down, we see that I have this Jane Bomkamp's ePortfolio, and that is my main header on the page. It's what's going to grab everyone's attention when they first look at it. So to code this, you do H1, and that just means header 1, and my text is Jane Bomkamp's ePortfolio, and then I close it out with H1. I chose to do this and use this certain design and this certain size of the font because I want it to be the first thing people see when they open up the web page, so they know exactly what's going on my web page. Next, I created another header, and it's just a brief thing that says what my ePortfolio is about, and it's showing you that this ePortfolio talks about how I'm learning in computer education program and what I'm creating and how it's all going. So again, I did a header, and this was my 6th header. I just chose that number, and so I opened it, header 6, wrote my words, and then closed header 6. And this entire section was my header section, so I just closed that out. So next, we move down to my About Me page. So first, I included a professional picture of myself, because I want people to know what I look like, and it's just an easy way to put a name with a face. So the way I did this was I actually saved this to my cell portfolio file on my computer under my name.jpg. So to code this, I did the img space src, which stands for image source, equals, and then the double, and then I was having a hard time with it just finding it from my thing, so I actually had to type out the entire web address for it, and then it started showing up. And then I told it how the width and the height that I wanted it to be, and then I closed it out. Next, I wrote my wording and my body of my About Me page, which you can see right here and read right there. So what I did was I created a paragraph for each of the 3 paragraphs. So I opened it with a paragraph tag, and then class equals pair content, so it's what the content it's all about. And then I just went ahead and typed it all in, and each paragraph I'd end the paragraph tag with the carets and the /p, which just shows you that the paragraph's over. And you can see that I wrapped my wording around my picture, and I did this by going back up to Style, and we go to Image, because this is the image that I did, and I said the width I wanted it. I said I wanted it to float left, so this told it go to the left of the page, and then I gave some padding and a margin so that the words weren't right up on it. Next, if we move down on my page, you can see that I put a way to easily contact me and easily just send an email to me. So this wording right here is one of my headers. So again, I did a header tag, wrote my wording, and closed the header tag. And then all of this coding right here is how I added the form that they can fill out. And so it's an opening form tag and a closing form tag. And all of this I found from W3 Schools, and they kind of explained what it meant to me. And so then I closed that out. And then we move on to the bottom of the page. So I created this entire bottom, and it is my footer. So I did a footer tag, opening footer tag. I added my paragraph saying my name, the year it was created, and then also when it was last updated, which would be September 2015, and I closed this paragraph tag. Next, I went to creativecommonslicense.com and I created a Creative Commons license for my site, and you can see that coding all of right here. And this is actually the embed code that they gave me on the Creative Commons license. And I did this just so I don't want anyone stealing my work, and I want my site to be official and know that it's a good thing, like it's a good site. Next, I linked my Twitter and my LinkedIn accounts. So I did this first by getting the URL. So I did the A space href equals, and then I put my URL, and then again the target underscore blank so that it'll open on a new page just so people can keep looking at it. And then I went online and found an image that is the Twitter logo, and I embedded that as well with the image source tag and closed all of that out. I did the exact same thing with the LinkedIn account. So next, I showed you how I did blog, and I showed you the portfolio. So one way that I'll show you how I actually did this already. So once again, it has the same top part, but now we're going to move down and I can show you how I did the portfolio part. So we go down to the body, and okay, so we move down here to where I actually started writing. So I began with this web quest that I created in W200. So I linked the URL for it. So the link was A space href equals with the URL. And again, then I want it to open on another page because I want them to be able to go back and forth easily. And then I took the snipping tool and actually took a picture of the website. And I did the image source coding. And I did all this because I want people to be able to see some of the work I've created while in these classes. So then I closed out that section. And I went on to also embed my ebook. So I did this by actually downloading it to IUBox and then using the embed code it gave me. I put that in a paragraph of its own, so paragraph tag, closing paragraph tag with the embed code that it gave me. And then I created another paragraph just to kind of explain what is actually going on in this ebook and why I created it. So this is what I've created so far. You can go to Curriculum Vitae, and here you can see that I've created a page for it, but I haven't actually made my resume. But this just shows you that this is where I will put my resume whenever I get that far. So that is the coding for the website I've created so far. I think that my website is really clear and easy to navigate, and I've had a lot of fun learning how to code it. And I think it's going to be a great tool for when I actually begin teaching. So thank you all for listening.